No Panic with a Hint of Hysteria is the story of a meek accountant who tries to make ends meet as a hitman, because driving for Uber is so 2018. When he accidentally kills a mobster, he's suddenly the target for cops, his victim's ex, gangsters, blackmailers, and his own wife if she finds out what he's been doing. Alexander Chance's Toby, our consistently flustered accountant slash hitman. Seriously, he's in a state of wide-eyed panic through most of the movie. He's a likable enough character, but his constant panic starts to wear thin. Stephen Baldwin gets top billing, but he's not in the film all that much. His performance is, well, mortgages ain't cheap. He does play a good gruff character these days. He's come a long way from Biodome. It's got that rapid-fire humor and physical comedy that would be popular 60 years ago. I'm not sure if this was made for mainstream audiences, but rather as a nostalgic tribute to those wacky, fast-paced comedies of the 40s and 50s. A lot of slapstick, pratfalls, lots of trying to hide things from people right behind their backs. It's got a very strong sitcom vibe. It has straight-to-video written all over it. Not that it looks cheap, but it doesn't exactly feel cinematic either. Despite having a fairly modern setting, it still plays like a period piece. It's beautifully shot with muted colors, except the color red pops for some reason. With harsh shadows for that film noir nod. There's also a thrilling action scene on a rolling gurney we haven't seen since Hudson Hawk. Oh god, you reminded me of Hudson Hawk. The movie does move fast. It's not exactly rushed, but the pace is quick. It starts with the trouble already started, so we lack that glimpse into his life before the shit hits the fan. There's also a side to Toby's relationship with his wife that we don't really get into until later in the movie, but by then it takes away some of the momentum. Maybe if it came earlier, we'd have more empathy as to why a shy accountant would try to be a hitman. When it does slow down, the characters snap at each other with arguments you don't care about. There's a sequence where two arguments are edited together, so the dialogue from one leads into the other and back, but it actually made me forget the sides of the conversations. It would be clever if it worked, but it was overdone and goes on too long. This also happens during an urgent part of the story, and it brings things to a screeching halt. Some sequences go on too long and fizzle out without much payoff. You'll be riveted during the graveyard finale fought with tax codes. I'm not kidding. It's refreshing that it's not centered on a gun battle or a car chase, but tax codes? Really? No Panic with a Hint of Hysteria is two Bs. It tries to be a faithful throwback to the film noir of the 40s with a modern twist, but I don't recall Bogart discussing having a threesome. Here's looking at you, kid. And you. So many of the jokes just fall flat. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, the bell, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles.
And special thanks to my patrons. You guys rock.